Hi everyone. Welcome back to another episode. And today we are going to be doing a deep dive into something that's been highly requested. On Valentine's Day this year, I released an incredible one-stop shop resource called How to Heal from Heartbreak. And I'll be going through some of that resource today. We won't go through all of it because there's literally so much in this ebook and it's free that you can get your hands on. So if you are listening to the podcast, you can go and find it on my socials. And if you are tuning in on YouTube, it will be in the description below. So if you are currently wanting to heal from a heartbreak, if you are holding on to pain or hurt or grief or sadness or anger or frustration from past heartbreaks or relationships and you don't want to bring them forth into new ones, then you're going to want to save this and listen to this and come back to it and revisit it and grab the resource for free so that you have this step-by-step guide, because it has been derived from all of the most incredible relationship experts in all their different fields from all around the world over the past decade. So for those of you who are new to the space, I'll give you a quick bit about me before I start reeling on about how this is the only guide you'll ever need to mend a broken heart and not bring it forward into the future. I'm Kat. I have been coaching men and women for the past decade, but especially women when it comes to life and love and wellness and business and creating just a whole new reality from anything painful from the past and actually alchemizing any of the pain into what it really can be, which is empowerment and pleasure and passion and excitement and love. And this is what people call shadow work. It's what people call self-development. It's what people call spirituality. Call it what you will. It's working on ourselves. And if we're not working on ourselves, then what are we doing? We're just walking around with most of society just complaining about all our problems, which is actually just, if you don't know this about your unconscious mind, creating more problems because you're programming your mind to only see problems, and therefore you'll only see problems, and therefore you'll talk more about all the problems that you're only seeing. You see the problem? And as my favorite mentor of all time, Tony Robbins, says, the only problem that human beings have is thinking that we're not supposed to have problems. And I'm here to tell you that if you have pain, problems, hurt, grief, sadness, frustration, anger, bitterment, resentment, any of it, this is actually great news. Because if you have those things, it means you can have the opposite if you choose to create it. So I created this resource called How to Heal from Heartbreak. It's free. You can grab it in my bio or from any of my websites or anything like that. And we're going to run through some of the most powerful points. And look, some of y'all are not going to like them. And if you're willing to lean into that, you will actually finally get transformation in your life. Okay? And I am not teaching or preaching or selling or saying anything that I haven't had to walk myself through myself. And so I know it for myself. I've also coached hundreds of women all around the world who have done the same, who have proven the same. So we know it works, which is why I'm sharing it. And why I'm giving it away for free, because I actually am more of a business coach than I am a love coach, although we do all of it in the background, because at the end of the day, the more you can love yourself and others, the more money you make. Don't know if you know that either. But we're going to go through a few powerful points today. And if you want to get the full resource, you can get that yourself in any of my platforms for free. The first thing, if you actually want to heal from heartbreak and not bring that pain forward into any other situations or relationships in your life, is don't talk the S word. I can't say it because we're on YouTube right now. Don't talk about the other person. Oh, we're already getting pissed off, aren't we? I know, because most of society is in this like gossip, blame, shame cycle, which is actually all driven by pain point marketing, getting you to consume, if you didn't notice. And we're all encouraging each other to bitch and moan and point the finger and talk S about our ex. Except here's the thing. There's a few things actually on this point. The reason why I'm telling you not to talk about your person or your ex-person or someone who hurt you from the past is because, number one, the more we tell the story of the painful thing that happened, the more we're telling our brain and our nervous system that it's happening again right now when it's not. So you're basically telling your nervous system every single time you think about the story and tell yourself the story, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening again, it's happening again, it's happening again, it's happening again. And what do we already know about the unconscious mind that I mentioned just before? The more we focus on something, the more we see more of it in our reality, and then we just only experience that. So can you, about speaking badly about someone who may have, yes, really hurt you, and start doing something differently? Because here's the thing, the next thing is, a lot of the time, our mind has inflated or created parts of the story to match our painful experiences from the past. Talking about, I wish I could swear, but we're on YouTube, so I can't swear right now. Talking about things that may not even be complete fact creates a lot more problems that aren't even problems, because friends and family will, more often than not, back us in our fear programs and back us in bitching and moaning and complaining, unfortunately, unless you get circles like mine where we don't. We like go, ah, and then we go, let's fix it. But the more we talk about it in a negative way, the more our brain is also going to find evidence of other situations. So even if you go from hurt, horrible heartbreak to the most incredible human that you could possibly have come across in your life, if you're telling this constant story about how someone's hurt you or done you wrong, it doesn't matter how wonderful that new person is, your brain's going to find the thing that proves to your brain that they are actually just as bad as the last person, and you're going to sabotage it, run away, screw it up. And it happens all the time. The unconscious mind also doesn't separate us from anyone else that we speak about. So we've all heard about self-love, self-talk, learning to love ourselves, speaking beautifully to ourselves, and treat ourselves the way we want to be treated by others. Every single time we think something about someone else or say something about someone else, our brain, our mind is actually stacking that as self-talk. And so I've just listed off a whole plethora, a whole menu of reasons why it's really great not to talk about your ex, because it's actually only screwing up your life, not theirs. I can absolutely guarantee that. So yes, sometimes we need to talk about these things. I totally get that. However, find a professional who is not going to get you to talk about the problems, which unfortunately a lot of psychology is doing lately. But find a really, well-known person who knows how to deal with it. If you have friends around you, ask them to hold you accountable. Ask them to stop you from gossiping and talking shit. Ask them to, oh God, I said it. YouTube's probably banned me now. But actually have people in your circle for when you do need to vent about it, who aren't going to feed into the pain story and are going to go, cool, I see you, I love you, let's do something about this, let's get you on a better path, let's improve, let's create, let's move forward. Because if you don't have those people around you, then you're going to continue to repeat cycles in relationships, and you're going to call it bad luck or fate or blaming all the other people for not being different for you to feel better, and you actually are always in control. So that's step one. This is a massive resource, guys, so I'm not going to be able to get through all of these points, but I really wanted to touch on a few powerful ones today. And there's 3 sections to it for the different stages of healing from heartbreak, and cultivating new relationships is in there as well. So you can get it for free if you want anytime. The next point is sex is sacred. And I know that's triggering a lot of other people already. But so much of the time our society is like, okay, cool, you broke up with someone, now just go out there and get back on the horse and go and F someone and go and do this and go. There is so much that we didn't learn about this particular type of interaction. spicy interaction. We didn't learn about it in school because I didn't know anything about it to teach us about it in school. We're getting to learn about it now. This is the beauty of our generation, is that we get to learn all the most incredible ways to cultivate the most incredible relationships, to teach our families how to do it in the future, right? We get to. And this interaction with another human being is so powerful on more levels than just the physical. I don't care whether you are a science nerd or a spiritual nerd. The two worlds say the same thing about physical intimacy. You are becoming that person that you are intimate with. You are giving them all your stuff, but you're also taking on all of their stuff. It is proven in quantum physics, it's proven in spirituality, it's proven in just hormones and chemicals alone. And so when you also have to detach from someone you've been intimate with, you're going to go through withdrawals like you've just stopped taking drugs and you're an addict. So when you come out of relationships, there is such an important period to keep yourself like sacred. Clear the space. You're going to go through withdrawals. You're going to need to actually detox, not just from that person physically on a chemical and a hormonal level, but you're going to need to detox from all of their belief systems and their traumas and their triggers and their things that they told you, and the ways that you changed yourself to become what they wanted and to come back to yourself. There's a whole integration period to come home to yourself once you leave a relationship. Right? And then if you do choose to invite someone else in, starting to ask more of the questions of like, do I actually want to become this person? Do I want to become all their little comments that they make? Do I want to become all their belief systems? Do I want to become their physical health? Do I want to become their financial status? Because we all know that we become all the people that we hang around. And this goes so much for our intimate relationships. You have no idea. Oh, so challenge yourself. And I say this and people hate it. People hate it. But I get it. And I only challenge it because I didn't get a choice. I've had to go like, 2 years, 18 months, 10 months, 5 months, whole, like many stints without having any physical intimacy, not even like a hug or a kiss. So I know how powerful it is. And you don't have to go that long, but I always challenge, especially if you've come out of a relationship or you're preparing to have a better relationship, go 3 to 6 months without any intimacy, without any dating apps, without any talking stages, without any pornography. Sweet Jesus, just get it out of your life, please, just, I won't even we're not even going to talk about that whole programming today, but that's a whole nother episode in and of itself. Set up an environment to go through the detox. This is the people that you have around you so that you're not doing step one. This is setting yourself up with your health, setting yourself up financially, getting some future goals in mind that are totally off topic so you can have something to work towards that motivates you, that feels exciting for you, that's got nothing to do with that person. And start doing intentional identity work on yourself. All right? I'm only 2 steps into this resource that we were going over today for this episode, so I'm definitely not going to get through them all, but I'm maybe just going to touch on a few of the ones from the first section, and you guys can go and grab the free resource yourself anytime you want, if you're finding any of this helpful. And the only reason I share these steps is because it's the stuff that works, and it's all in one place. So the next thing is, if you are freshly coming out of a heartbreak, or you've been in it forever and it's just you're over it, or you're starting to date again and you're wanting to get into new relationships and you're still feeling plagued by something from the past, then I invite you to come into your hot and healthy season. Again, I said, set some goals that have nothing to do necessarily with the breakup or with what just happened or with the loss that you're moving through. Go all in on a new self-care routine. And maybe you already move your body every day. Maybe you drink lots of water and eat incredibly and have an amazing mindset. And if that's so, I reckon it's time to mix it up and do some new experiences of exercise and go deeper into mindset and do some more like that. We literally are so lucky in this day and age to have so many different ways to dabble in getting healthy and sexy and good looking and feeling great in our body, but also feeling great in our mind. Like, we have all of it at our fingertips for free if we want. It's literally been the last decade of my life. And then I started investing in coaches and I started getting results a lot quicker. But if you aren't feeling super fit and healthy and energized and vibrant, and when you look at yourself and you're reflecting, you're like, oh, damn, then let's go all in on that. Because there's really no better time than an emotional breakdown or being plagued by pain to get into the best shape and health of your entire life. Now, I'm not a huge fan of what we call away from drivers, which is pain drivers. I'd much prefer you to get into pleasure drivers and excitement drivers and moving forward drivers. However, pain, hurt, betrayal, sadness, anger, frustration, they're pretty powerful drivers. When those negative, quote unquote, negative emotions are integrated, they become incredibly powerful drivers. And that's why I say it's the best time to get yourself into the best shape physically and emotionally you've ever been in your life. And that alone is going to shift you into a new vibration, which is going to shift you into a new groups of people and energetic attraction points for new people that you might bump into on the street or at the gym or at the mindset event or whatever it is. And you'll forget all about what happened before. However, we don't want to completely forget about it, and the rest of the resource goes into that. But number one, how can you start moving your body every day? Because you love your body, not because you hate your body. Number two, are you drinking enough water, babe? Seriously, it's so simple. Most of human beings' health issues today could be solved if people just got enough water intake. Especially if you've got a lot of overthinking that's been going on. Your brain is dehydrated, babe. Drink more water. Put some essential oils in it to make it taste better. Put some fresh citrus in to help alkaline your body. Seriously, you'll be amazed all the ways this can help. Number three, food is life. Get rid of processed foods, go organic in all the ways you possibly can, eat tons more veggies, have alkalizing foods, get off the medications, heal your gut, balance your hormones, and get to know your cycle for the ladies. This will make you feel like a natural woman again, which is the best superpower I know, because then all of your mind clears up and your intuition clears up and you're like, holy crap, I'm actually a superhuman and I have access to the portal all the time. And number four, your mindset is everything. The story that you run, the meanings that you attach. And I'm talking right now about your physical body, about your health, about how you look in the mirror. So your mindset is everything. The story you run, the meaning you attach to things, the thoughts that you think about yourself and others. Go deeper into this during this time. Every time you go to think about this person who might have hurt you or betrayed you or whatever the words that we use in the inflammatory negative communities that aren't actually helping anyone to heal, by the way, how can you move from that and go, oh, I'm thinking about them, oh, they hurt me so much, oh, hold on, I need to drink water, oh, hold on, I need to go for a walk. Oh, hold on. I need to do that mindset video or look at that resource. Oh, hold on. I need to eat something good today because I haven't had any vegetables today. Like reframe, because you know what you're doing. Your unconscious mind loves repetition. The way that you build new unconscious programs is through repetition. It's so freaking simple that it hurts my soul that it took me 10 years to figure it out and like almost $100,000, which is why I created a program called the Academy, which has all of it in one place, simplified so that people can figure it all out in a year rather than a decade and for a lot less money. Next is create the space to grieve. Create the space to grieve. In many cases of a breakup, this is a loss that you're experiencing that isn't addressed in society. Losing someone from our life, sometimes very suddenly or unexpectedly on some level, that's still alive, but maybe they're down the street, maybe they're dating your best friend now, or whatever the situation is, yet you may never now be able to see them or talk to them again, is gonna require a grieving process. And so much of the time we're just like, no, move on, no, get over it. They don't deserve you. You deserve better. But all of this is just suppressing the grief that you should get to feel. And so I say, create the space to grieve. You don't need to bring anyone into this. You don't need to tell the story to everyone, right? Our society is full of human beings walking around suppressing these really deep emotions. But here's the thing about suppressed emotion, it leaks out. It leaks out into everything over time. It creates sickness, it creates disease, it creates reactivity at your kids, it creates like sabotaging beautiful new relationships that aren't even the pain from the past. So I tell my clients all the time, whether it's the loss of a partner, a family member, a client, a friend, in any way, shape or form, we get to create the space to grieve. and move through grief, which has no set timeline. And when I say create the space, I mean ask the people in your life to give you some time to feel your feelings, and then actually go feel your feelings. You don't have to do it in all the bloody ceremonies that I did it in and all the different ways that I did. But lock yourself away for a day and just scream and cry into a pillow and play the notebook and play all the music that you listen to and look at all the photos and just let it out and 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 let it out. Because I promise you, the more that you actually do that, the more you remove it physically from your body, from your energy, and it's going to get easier and easier. On top of that, have grief days. Create a grief day, or have like moments in each day. I remember when I had to move through something really, really hard in the midst of 2020. I'd already been going through something horrific, and then 2020 hit, and then I was in lockdown alone, and then all of this happened, and it got escalating, and I had no money, and the government wouldn't support me, and all these things were going on. And I was told to create a grief moment every single morning, and I was like, this doesn't sound healthy. But I did for 15 minutes. As soon as I woke up every morning, I had to go into all the things that had happened in my mind and scream into a pillow and cry as hard as I could. And at the end of the 15 minutes, when the timer went off, I would get up and I'd go, okay, that's it for the day. What am I going to do today to create my life better? Because I knew that throughout the day, if I went to go into like, oh God, I could go, no, I did that this morning and I get to do it again tomorrow morning. But today we're focusing on the steps to move forward. And that's the final piece of this, is set intentions to walk forward and thrive. Because that is what is the most powerful thing that you can do to move forward for you and whatever the other person's learning journey is. Right? If you want people to be better, we have to lead the way. And this is how we do it. And I was saying to my clients today, we were having a giggle about it, just like, how great is it that we just actually get to become the happiest, healthiest, sexiest, most epic, like vibrant versions of ourselves. And that not only will attract all of the things that we really want and deserve into our life, but it also energetically pulls people who aren't doing those things to go, oh my God, maybe they were right. Oh my God, I wonder what would happen if I did that. Right? So next, we're definitely not going to get through this whole thing on this episode. But if you want the whole resource, it's free in my bio. So it's called How to Heal from Heartbreak. The next is to go no contact. And a lot of people don't like this either. And I remember saying to my dad, probably in 2016, he was like, every time you call us, you're having a freak out because like you've gone onto some guy's Facebook page and he's posting pictures and whatever he's doing. Like, I don't know what I was doing. This was around the time that I realized I had a really bad problem with doing that. And then I tried to find social media addiction therapists and they didn't exist. So I had to create my own. And that's how I accidentally ended up building a business. And here we are. So I get how going no contact can be really challenging in this day and age when there are 10 million different ways that you can contact someone and they can contact you, or your friends can all tell you things. Like I have had to disconnect from whole friends groups because certain people felt like they needed to tell me how so-and-so is doing 5 years on. And so for a period of time though, ask for help with this. Hey guys, I'm like blocking this person out and removing them so I don't have to have it right in my arena while I'm going through withdrawals, while I'm going through the grief, while I'm going through creating, like coming back to myself and developing and designing and deciding my new personality that I'm going to get to be moving forward to attract everything that I want. I need your help to like disconnect me from going and looking or going and contacting, because here's the thing, you broke up for a reason. Nothing has changed. And a lot of the times this happens, majority of the time, is that when people actually start withdrawing, and the reason I'm using the word withdrawing is you are going through chemical withdrawals when you break up with someone. Chemical, hormonal. It's just the same as if you had a cocaine addiction and then you suddenly stopped. So start taking it seriously like that, because all of those moments where you start going, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll just call them. Maybe I'll just see how they're going. Maybe I'll just see if we can talk. Oh, maybe I've made a mistake. You know what that is? That's withdrawals. That's your brain wanting the chemical again. Doesn't mean anything's changed. It just means that your brain will do anything to get that quick hit. And so go no contact. And one of the things that I love to do, I tell my clients, and this isn't in this resource, but I'll say it here, is to really start to take that detox time seriously. And we call it dosing in my communities. So dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. If you are asking, how can I actually dose every single day naturally? Then you're less likely to have your brain try and take over your whole soul to text your ex when you're going through withdrawals from them, because you are actually getting those chemical hits from things every single day, and you don't, like, they're not your only source of hit, right? And people don't like when I minimize people to like a chemical, but at the end of the day, that's what we are. We're running off those things. And if you want to learn more about that and expand on that, then I have the Healed and Happy program, which is inside Lovely Club, or of course the Academy. We go deep into all of that stuff for you specifically. I'm going to have to wrap this up soon because there's so much in this resource, and these are the main points I really wanted to create. Pick a project. Like, the identity work that I do with all my clients is about designing and deciding a new you, and you get to do this over and over and over and over again in your life. What a freaking privilege that you get to keep evolving and becoming a better version of yourself, just to see what you can attract and create. Like, what a vibe. So yes, you might be grieving a life that you thought you were going to get, and maybe it will come back around. Who knows? But right now, do everything I just said, and then pick a project. Ask, who are you? Who do you want to be? What do you actually love doing for you? What have you put aside for this relationship? What kind of epic goal would you love to achieve that would just feel really great for you? Can you come back to you and design and decide a new version of you that feels really good just for you? And set aside some time to actually go after that every single day. Anytime you get sucked into an overthinking spiral about whatever happened, reframe. What's my next step on that goal that I'm working towards? Because you get to turn all of that pain into purpose, into passion, into pleasure, into empowerment. Otherwise, it's literally just wasted time and wasted pain. I'm going to say that again. You get to turn all of that pain into power, into pleasure, into passion. Otherwise, it's just wasted time and wasted pain. You get to transform it. And here's the thing about negative emotions and experiences. They're just energy. Like, everything is energy, and energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed. So you cannot destroy the negative emotions in yourself. You cannot remove them. They are always going to be part of your being, but you can change them into something better if you so choose to. Because of all the pain I've experienced in my life, especially in relation to intimate relationships, I traveled the world. I got qualifications and certifications. I learned to play guitar. I learned to skate. I played gigs at local bars. I played gigs in bars all around the world. I learned to fire twirl. I learned to surf. I wrote and self-published books. I became a yoga teacher and a meditation teacher and a breathwork teacher, and I ran retreats, and I worked with so many different industries. I went down every spiritual and self-development rabbit hole you could possibly imagine. I healed over 8 chronic health conditions naturally. I started and scaled multiple businesses. I've spoken on stages. I started a podcast. I blog. I have a YouTube channel. I learned to read tarot. I opened up my intuition and my clairaudience and my clairsentience. Yeah, all the woo-woo stuff. And I learned how to heal patterns of generational trauma and help others do so. And now I'm learning Indonesian and how to help other people scale their businesses because of all of that pain that I went through in the past. All of it I got to experience in my life because I was either trying to get over a man, stay close to a man, impress a man, heal from a man. Or, yeah, that's pretty much it. And I wouldn't be the woman that I'm proud to be today if it hadn't been for men behaving badly the way they did. So I wonder what could happen if you chose to alchemize your negative emotions and turn them into the life of your dreams. Because that's what you can do. And the worse the pain, the more powerful the transformation can be. Now, to wrap up this little transmission before I lose all connection and battery life and all the things, and YouTube kicks me off, here's some things that I recommend you stay away from, because we will become the top people and things that we hang around, converse with, and absorb content from. And now there is a menu that is extensive to the ends of the earth of what you can pay attention to online, especially when it comes to healing from the past. However, I want you to take note of the people in different communities and who are saying certain transitions, and are they actually healthy and happy and successful people? Because here's the thing I learned over a decade of dipping into lots of different communities and finding what works. Any groups or communications about how people are narcissistic, how they're gaslighting, how they're abusive, and how to avoid them or stop them is all very hypnotic, limiting language that installs limiting beliefs into your life, and they're everywhere. And sometimes it's like viral from very qualified people, not realizing what is actually happening when they say that. So I asked, do I know this person to be letting them imprint these things into my reality, which means that I'm focusing on them, which means I'm going to see more of them? And am I okay taking advice from them because I'm going to become them? Interesting one, right? Next, bless, is taking advice from single friends who aren't qualified in any way, shape, or form, or have not created a healthy relationship with themselves, because we're all great at giving advice. And I love every single human over the last decade who offered me advice when I was in pain, because we do it because we want to help, right? However, even some relationship coaches who haven't been with their partners long don't necessarily have the depths of support that you really want. Yes, too many people are too quick to call their exes narcissists these days. I agree. So rather than taking advice from people who don't have what you have or what you want to create within yourself and in a future relationship, move to people who have been in a relationship forever. This is why everyone that I researched and I worked with who influenced the creation of this resource, How to Heal from Heartbreak, this is not my stuff. This is all of their stuff combined that I've embodied and created results from and helped women all around the world do the same, right? And so rather than the blind leading the blind just to make each other feel better, can you make sure you're absorbing advice and implementing advice from people who have created it successfully, long term, and not just in one area of life, but in many, right? Try to stay away from content on the internet that is against men or against women or against ex-partners, or is really dramatic emotional videos that pull on all the victim heartstrings because they will make you feel super good and seen in the moment. And they will keep you stuck in focusing on the pain. And we all know what that does, right? It just makes us see more pain and problems, even if it's not actually there. Instead, do all the things in the guide and you will call in incredible relationships, not just one, but friendships and business opportunities and work promotions. So many different things can come by choosing to become a better version of yourself in all the ways because you were hurt in the past, right? Rather than becoming just like all the people who might have hurt you. Now, I'm going to have to wrap up this episode here. There is 2 more parts to this free resource that I didn't get to go through. For anyone listening on the podcast, you can find it anywhere on my platforms. It's called How to Heal from Heartbreak. It is free, and you also get access to the Relationships Masterclass, which is a deep dive into a lot of the most powerful concepts for relationships. It's literally everything that you wish you learned in school before you went through everything that you've probably been through. It will blow your mind. And for anyone watching on YouTube, you will find all of that in the description below. I hope you found this helpful. If you are healing from a heartbreak right now, I see you, I love you, and I'm also really freaking excited for you, because this is your initiation. This is your invitation. This is your pathway to your freaking future that you really want opening up before you if you choose to walk towards it. So jump on and grab that resource if you'd like to dive deeper into this. Reach out to me for a chat anytime, as always, and I will see you all on the next episode.